Okay, so I haven't posted in about 3 weeks. A lot of stuff happened, and I got distracted. So I'm back with this video because I just watched it, figured out where I left off, and it's the easiest for me to continue. I'm thinking about doing what if deku was Captain America. Don't know, not sure. Thinking about it. But I know for sure I'm doing what if deku was a Earthbender because Reed wanted me to do that. I think he did. I'm not sure still. But yeah, so let's get started. I had Deku where I left off. I had Deku. Well, not this most likely going to be a lot different from the first part. Just because I don't know how to do this. This is why I kind of left it off with saying I don't like feel the episode because I mean not the episode, the what if because I had no clue where I was gonna have it go. But from what I know, Deku is mute. He um he likes drawing. His work is based around his emotions, and I don't think I got enough much detail on how his work works. So yeah, I said I was gonna flashback at a later part, never did. Okay. Um so I'll do that before I end off the episode. I'll just explain how this works. Um I'm just gonna call them episodes so I keep doing that. But yeah, uh I will explain how this work works at the end of this episode since I didn't do it last episode. So start of the anime, Deku runs up and he starts digging in his backpack looking for his notebook. He finds it and he automatically starts taking notes on, I forgot the tree dude's name and I forgot Tall Girl's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about, hopefully, since y'all most likely watched the anime. So that happens. The dude tells Deku should he be at school. Deku says yes, and he no, I'm not gonna have him do that yet. He starts running off to school, and then that whole thing happens. Deku, I mean Bakio has his speech, but he doesn't really point out Deku saying Deku might be able to get in. And that happens. He doesn't bother to blow up Deku's notebook since Deku really hasn't said a single word to Deku, mean to Bakio, like at all. Like, and they know each other since kindergarten, and Deku hasn't said a single word since he had to speak in pre-K or kindergarten or whatever. Anyway, yeah, that whole thing happens and Deku goes to hmm, oh yeah, he goes to go home. He uses the uh dang it shortcut, and he starts fighting the Sludge Villain. He what he does is he takes a bit. Well, he doesn't have to do this, but it's just gonna be cool if he does. He takes a bit of the Sludge Villain's slime away from it and uses the water. Like he separates the slime from the water, and basically he did that all like to the whole sludge and he basically separated the sludge in one bottle and the water in one bottle, not killing the sludge but making the sludge way too weak to move around. And the way that they're going to have to fix it is they're going to have to pour the sludge into the water and shake it around, and then there you go. So the sludge Deku takes a note on it from his paper, saying, I had to use my fork to capture it, but there's the special and he starts walking away. Then All Might pops out of the sewer. Um, then he's like, I am here, don't fear, or whatever he says. I forgot what he says. Then Deku turns around, points at something. All Might looks. and he sees the bottle, and Deku just keeps walking. All Might tries to run up, asking Deku, does he want to add an autograph? And Deku just shakes his head because Deku really doesn't care about All Might that much. And that hurts All Might quite a little bit, but he jumps away and acts like nothing really happened. And Deku goes home and starts his 10 months of training. What he does is he tries to master using his emotions correctly and just trying to find new ways to use his water. I'm still gonna have him train at Deku through a beach, moving the trash, not using his quirk because I just don't want him to, and at the same time using his quirk on like the sea that's right there, like just lifting up the sea. Yeah, I want to say you could freeze it, freezing it, then unfreezing it, and just manipulating it and making like swords and stuff out of it, shields, walls, spike walls, freezing the ground by like splashing water on it and then freezing it. And then he's trying to figure out how to summon water like by without having to have water nearby. And he figures out how to summon enough to make a small dagger or to make enough to like freeze somebody's hands. So basically, he figures out enough to freeze Bakio's hands and almost everybody else's hands, just enough to freeze hands or to freeze somebody's created place. I can't speak to that. Anyway, uh, yeah, that happens. I can time skip uh, all the way to the interest of them. Let's say he gets 15th place, no, 10th place, and then no, I think he had like fifth place in the anime. Let's give him fifth place. So the physical part happens. He has like little water bottles, like what are they called? Flashes? No, I thought they're called the like little things to hold water. So he just pops those open, and he starts manipulating the water, and he just starts like he puts water inside of the robots, and it makes it stop working. I was going to say the word for it, but couldn't say it. My nose is getting on my nose today. Like it keeps getting soft up. Anyway, yeah, he does that, and then the zero pointer comes and uses uses all the water that he can. Even he summons as much water as he can, and he catapults himself up to the not the sludge villain, the zero pointer, and then he whips around the water he just used to catapult himself and hits it onto the zero pointer's like eye, so the like he couldn't see like know how when water gets on like glass, like the glass like gets all blurry just a little bit. That's basically what Deku did, and what he had left he used to make a sword, and he like stabs it into the zero pointer over and over again until he makes a hole. Then he uses the water that he splashed. No, he used for two eyes. I'm pretty sure it had like six eyes. For two eyes, he used that water, and he started to like splash it on stuff inside of the zero pointer until the zero pointer got still. Then he used all the water to like first he pushed himself off using the water, then he re-grabbed it, and then used it to like catapult himself right into the air right before he fell. So he basically like impacted the water to the ground to make enough of a impact to hold him up into the air just for one quick second. So he basically used the water to absorb the impact so Uraraka never stopped, slapped him, and then he used the rest of the water to like lift the stuff off of Uraraka. And he really didn't care. Uraraka was injured. He just kept walking. And let's say he got to other 3 and 2 pointers before the buzzer went off and the exam was finished. Then, the 2 weeks of waiting happens, and while he does that, he practices on some drawings. I forgot to get pictures. I remember saying I would get pictures. I forgot to get some, but he practices on drawing for a little bit, And then after that, he gets his letter and he opens it. All Might comes out saying that he got in and saying if he ever wants the autograph, just ask him and he will be happy to give it to him. Deku's kind of like smiling, laughing that All Might would remember him just because he said no to his autograph. And Deku never told All Might his name. He just like All Might figured out by looking at Deku's file, looking at like the picture in Deku's file, and he basically faced it like, oh, this is that kid. So he did that. Um, Let me explain Deku's work now, and if this episode isn't long enough, it's long enough. I have most likely two, maybe one more video after this, and it's getting late. So, Deku's work basically, he can take, like, you know how in the air you have, we have like water particles. He can take that and make water. And how he manipulates it, Inko had a her same quirk, and Deku's dad had a like just a regular like where he could shoot water out his fingers, like using his own body, like you know how we have water in our body. Basically using that, he could shoot like water at his fingers. He didn't become a pro hero, even though he could if he trained. He didn't, because yeah, I mean, life a lot more harder. Anyway, yeah, and it basically say Deku's mad. Like know how Bird Dude, if he's in the dark and like he gets mad, his quirk like starts acting up. That's basically Deku. But what happens is his limits stop working. He can take up all the water in a 20, maybe 40 mile range and use that. He can start taking water from trees, plants, like everything, like basically everything he could do when he's not mad, like everything that would be hard for him to do when he's like trying to focus and he's calm would take forever. But if he's mad, he can do it like it's nothing. But at the same time, if he's like disappointed, like if he's disappointed in himself, well, like his quirk will pick up on that, and if he's in danger, his quirk will also pick up on that, and it will make like this bubble around him, trying to like block everything out. So like it would kind of be an ice bubble, but it would still look like water, and it would like start pushing everything back. And the more like sad or disappointed in himself he gets, the bigger the bubble. So it's most likely a shield type situation, and I'll have him be able to like master his emotions and be able to do all that like just like it's nothing, but it's gonna take a while. I'll explain like when he's super happy and that later because I want to keep that a secret because I want to do something like super cool for that because he really never gets happy and he really never gets like super excited like that because he's a super calm person. But I'll figure those two out later. And this is Shadow Master signing out.